How many vocabulary words do you need to speak basic English? The number of vocabulary words needed to speak basic English can vary, but generally, a basic level of proficiency may be achieved with a vocabulary of around 1,000 to 1,500 words. This would allow someone to engage in simple conversations, understand and use everyday expressions, and handle common situations like introducing oneself, asking for directions, or ordering food. So with the video series Learning 4,000 New Words, it will help you improve your vocabulary and help you communicate in basic English every day.
Accept. To accept something that is offered is to take it.
I accepted the girl's very nice gift.
Arrange. To arrange things is to put them in the right place.
Please arrange the bowling pins in order so we can play.
Attend. To attend something is to go to it.
My sister and I attend the same school.
Balance. To balance something is to keep it from falling.
We saw an elephant balance itself on a ball.
Contrast. A contrast is the sharp difference between two things.
The contrast between my parents is very noticeable.
Encourage. To encourage someone is to make them want to do something.
My football coach will encourage us when we are losing.
Familiar. If someone or something is familiar to you, you know them well.
The two friends were very familiar with each other.
Grab. To grab is to take hold of someone or something suddenly.
I grabbed a pear from the tree.
Hang. To hang something is to keep it above the ground.
I drew a picture of my family and my mother hung it on the wall.
Huge. If something is huge, it is very big.
At work, my father drives a huge truck.
Necessary. If something is necessary, you must do it.
It is necessary to have a passport when you travel to a foreign country.
Pattern. A pattern is a way in which something is done or organized.
My pattern of brushing my teeth is the same as most people's.
Propose. To propose something is to say that it should be done.
Santa Claus proposed that I try to be a good boy all year.
Purpose. A purpose is the reason that you do something.
The purpose of exercising is to get into shape.
Release. To release something is to stop holding it.
She released the bird from her hands.
Require. To require something is to say that it is necessary.
We require teachers to have a university degree.
Single. If something is single, then there is only one.
I have a single key in my hand.
Success. Success is doing something well that you choose to do.
My daughter was a big success at school.
Tear. To tear something means to pull it apart.
It is easy to tear paper.
Theory. A theory is an idea about how something works.
We talked about Einstein's theory of relativity in class.
How the sun and the moon were made. Do you ever wonder where the moon and the sun came from? The Inuit people of Alaska have a theory. They tell a story about a beautiful girl. She was very nice. In contrast, her brother was a mean little boy. One day he proposed something. "We should go to a party," he said. The girl accepted. First, it was necessary for her to prepare. She arranged her hair and put on nice clothes. This required a lot of time. But the girl worked hard, and soon she had success. She looked perfect. They attended the party together. The girl was having fun. Later, she walked into the bathroom. Suddenly, the lights were turned off. Someone grabbed her hair and tore her clothes. She ran out of the bathroom. She wanted to know who did this to her. Then she had an idea. She fixed her hair again. This time it was even more beautiful. She even balanced beautiful jewels in it. She wanted to encourage the person to grab it again. She put black dirt in her hair. The purpose of this was to catch the person. She went to the bathroom again, and it was the same pattern. The lights went off, and someone grabbed her hair. When he released it, his hand was black. The girl returned to the party. She knew there was only a single person with a black hand. When she saw that person, he was very familiar. It was her brother. He ran into the woods. The girl ran after him. They both carried fire so they could see in the dark. The smoke went into the air. As they ran, they grew. They became huge. Then they went into space. When the girl's fire went out, she hung in the sky. She became the moon, and her brother became the sun. They chase each other forever. Anymore. Anymore means any longer.
Her old pants don't fit her anymore.
Asleep. When a person is asleep, they are not awake.
The baby has been asleep for hours.
Berry. A berry is a small round fruit that grows on certain plants and trees.
The berry looked delicious.
Collect. To collect things is to group them together all in one place.
I collected shells when I was younger.
Compete. To compete is to try to be better than someone.
He will compete with very good athletes.
Conversation. A conversation is a talk between people.
There were two conversations going on at once.
Creature. A creature is any living thing.
The creature we saw today was either a dolphin or a porpoise.
Decision. A decision is a choice.
He made the wrong decision.
Either. Either is used with or to say there are two or more possibilities.
You can choose to be either white or black when you play chess.
Forest. A forest is a place with lots of trees and animals.
I love to go walking in the forest.
Ground. The ground is the top part of the earth that we walk on.
The ground under our feet was dry and brown.
Introduce. To introduce someone or something is to say who they are.
I introduced myself to our newest coworker today.
Marry. To marry is to legally become husband and wife.
Rose and Henry were married, and they lived happily.
Prepare. To prepare is to get ready for something.
I prepared my speech to the class.
Sail. To sail is to move a boat on the water.
I love to sail my boat on the lake.
Serious. When something is serious, it is bad or unsafe.
The accident was very serious.
Spend. To spend is to use time doing something or being somewhere.
I like to spend my free time fishing.
Strange. When something is strange, it is not normal.
Joe had a strange look on his face after he saw what happened.
Truth. The truth is a fact or something that is right.
He was telling the truth about seeing a large green snake.
Wake. To wake is to not be sleeping anymore.
He is always full of energy when he wakes in the morning. Princess Rose and the Creature. There was once a beautiful princess named Rose. Her mother, the queen, however, was not as beautiful as the princess. The queen felt bad that she was not the most beautiful woman in the kingdom anymore. She was tired of competing with her daughter. She made a decision. She prepared a drink for the princess. After the princess drank it, she fell asleep. Then the queen took the princess to the forest. She left the princess there. It was a very serious thing to do. Either she will be killed by animals or she will get lost in the forest, the queen thought. The princess had a dream. She dreamed about a man with brown hair and brown eyes. It was the man she would wed. The princess woke up. She saw a strange creature on the ground. It looked like a man, but he was hairy and green. He had horns on his head and a pig's nose. The creature said, "Did I scare you? I hope not. Let me introduce myself. I am Henry." "I am not scared. To tell you the truth, I think you are cute," said Rose. Rose and Henry spent the day together. They collected berries, caught fish, and had lunch. They had a very good day filled with nice conversations. "Rose, I have to go home," said Henry. "My ship will sail home soon. I can't leave you here in the forest alone. Will you come with me?" Rose was very happy. She gave Henry a kiss right on his pig nose. As soon as she kissed Henry, he began to change. His pig nose turned into a man's nose. His horns and green hair went away. Standing in front of her was the man Rose had dreamt about. Rose and Henry were married, and they lived happily.
Allow. To allow something to happen means to let it happen.
Having a ticket will allow you to enter the show.
Announce. To announce something is to make it known.
He announced to everyone his new idea for the company.
Beside. When someone or something is beside you, they are next to you.
The two brothers stood beside each other.
Challenge. A challenge is something difficult to complete.
It was a challenge to climb to the top of the mountain.
Claim. To claim means to say that something is true.
He claimed to know why the country's laws were weak.
Condition. The condition of someone or something is the state that they are in.
The patient's condition was very good.
Contribute. To contribute to something means to do something to make it successful.
We decided to contribute money to the new hospital.
Difference. A difference is a way that something is not like other things.
The biggest difference between the birds is the color of their feathers.
Divide. To divide something is to make it into smaller parts.
We divided the pizza.
Expert. An expert is someone who is very good at doing something.
The wizard was an expert at magic.
Famous. If someone or something is famous, they are known to many people.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris is very famous.
Force. Force is a person's strength or power.
He used all his force to try and open the door.
Harm. Harm is hurt or problems caused to someone or something.
A hot iron can cause great harm if you are not careful.
Lay. To lay means to put or place in a horizontal or flat position.
Don't lay your socks on the floor.
Peace. Peace is a time without war.
A white dove is a symbol for peace.
Prince. A prince is the son of a king.
The prince and the princess were married.
Protect. To protect someone is to stop them from getting hurt.
Firemen protect us from fires.
Sense. To sense something is to know about it without being told.
I could sense that he was watching me.
Sudden. When something is sudden, it happens very quickly.
He felt a sudden pain in his chest.
Therefore. Therefore means for this reason.
He is fat, therefore he will go on a diet. The Best Prince. King Minos was very sick. His condition was getting worse. He had 3 sons. He loved them all. He had to announce who would become king. 2 of the princes stood waiting outside the king's room. Theseus was the oldest and strongest. He thought his father would make him king. Peleus, the second son, thought differently. He was an expert with weapons. He thought the king would choose him. "When I'm king," Theseus told Peleus, "I'll let you contribute to the defense of our country. You can lead the army." Peleus became angry. "Father knows I'm famous for my sword skills. He'll make me king." "You?" Theseus yelled. "He won't choose you." "The kingdom is mine," Peleus claimed. "Father will give it to me, or I'll use force to take it." Theseus made a sudden move to take out his sword. Then Peleus did the same. "Beating me will be a challenge," Theseus said. "Fight me now. The winner gets the kingdom." Peleus agreed. King Minos could hear his sons fighting. The youngest son, Jason, stood beside him. He sensed his father's sadness. The king laid his hand flat on Jason's arm. "Your brothers fight too much," the king told him. "I must protect my kingdom from all harm. They'll divide it between them. The people won't know what to do. There'll be war. I can't allow either of them to be king. Therefore, I'm making you king. Your kindness has always made you special. It's the difference between you and your brothers. You can bring peace. They can't." Then the king died. Theseus and Peleus heard that their youngest brother was king. They were surprised. They realized that their fighting was wrong. It had kept them from saying goodbye to their father. They agreed to have Jason as their king. He was the best choice.
Alone. If someone is alone, they are not with another person.
The boy wanted to be alone to think.
Apartment. An apartment is a set of rooms in a building where people live.
She has a nice apartment in the city.
Article. An article is a story in a newspaper or magazine.
Did you read the article in the newspaper about the soccer game?
Artist. An artist is a person who paints, draws, or makes sculptures.
He went to Paris to become an artist.
Attitude. Someone's attitude is the way they feel and think.
John has a bad attitude. He's always angry.
Compare. To compare means to say how 2 things are the same and different.
If you compare cats and dogs, you'll see that they're both good pets.
Judge. To judge something is to say if it is good or bad.
The boy was going to judge how his mother's turkey tasted.
Magazine. A magazine is a regular publication with news, stories, and articles.
She likes to read fashion magazines.
Material. A material is what is used to make something.
Brick is a good material for building houses.
Meal. A meal is a time when food is eaten, like breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Breakfast is my favorite meal because I enjoy breakfast foods.
Method. A method is the way to do something.
One method to remember things is to tie a string around your finger.
Neighbor. A neighbor is a person who lives near you.
I like my neighbor because he's very friendly.
Professional. If something is professional, it deals with work that uses special skills.
If you want to be a pilot, you must have professional training.
Profit. A profit is the extra money you make when you sell something.
I made a small profit from selling my old clothes.
Quality. The quality of something is how good it is.
The quality of his car is very good.
Shape. A shape is a simple form like a square or circle.
The triangle is my favorite shape.
Space. A space is an empty area.
I don't have much space for things in my small house.
Stair. Stairs are the things that are used to go up in a building.
You can take the stairs to the second floor.
Symbol. A symbol is a thing that stands for something else.
This symbol tells us that we cannot smoke in this area.
Thin. If someone or something is thin, they are not fat.
The man was thin because he didn't eat much.
The crazy artist. Fraunhofer was the best artist in the world. Everyone loved him. The quality of his paintings was very high. He always used the best materials. He made a big profit from his paintings. He had delicious meals with his rich neighbors. He taught art classes. Life was good. Then his attitude changed. He stopped selling paintings and teaching. He tried a new method of painting. He stayed alone in his apartment all day. He worked all day and all night, rarely eating. Soon Fraunhofer became very thin, but he kept working on the same paintings for many years. He worked as hard as he could. Finally, he finished the painting. He was very happy and invited other artists to see it. "I want your professional opinion," he said. He wanted them to judge it and compare it to other paintings. Everyone was very excited as they went up the stairs to his apartment. Fraunhofer was excited to show his painting, and the artists were excited to see it. "They'll love it," he thought. But they did not. They were surprised by his painting. There was no white anywhere. Fraunhofer filled the whole painting with lines and colors. There was no space for a normal picture. It was full of strange shapes. It looked bad to the other artists. He used symbols, and they didn't understand them. They thought it was terrible. "Why did you paint this strange picture?" someone asked. They didn't understand its beauty. But after some time, many people began to like his painting. People wrote articles about it in magazines. They said it was his best work. They loved his strange symbols. They loved his strange colors. Fraunhofer's painting reminded everyone that just because something was new didn't mean that it was bad. He also helped them to realize that sometimes it takes people a little time to understand great things. Benefit. A benefit is a good thing.
Being able to fly is a good benefit to birds.
Certain. If you are certain about something, you know it is true.
I am certain that zebras have stripes.
Chance. A chance is an opportunity to do something.
I had a chance to see the Roman Colosseum last summer.
Effect. An effect is a change made by something else.
The medicine had a good effect on the boy.
Essential. If something is essential, it is very important and necessary.
It is essential to have oxygen when you scuba dive.
Far. If something is far, it is not close.
It's far going from the East Coast to the West Coast of America.
Focus. To focus on something is to think about it and pay attention to it.
My mom always helps me to focus on my schoolwork.
Function. The function of something is what it does.
The function of a flashlight is to help you see in the dark.
Grass. Grass is the green leaves that cover the ground.
The grass looks so soft and green.
Guard. To guard something is to take care of it.
The police officer will guard us from any harm.
Image. The image of something is a picture of it.
The image of her eye was very clear.
Immediate. If something is immediate, it happens quickly.
An immediate response came from the pizza place.
Primary. If something is primary, it is the most important thing.
His primary thoughts are about money.
Proud. If someone feels proud, they are happy about what they have done.
She is proud of the picture she drew of her house.
Remain. To remain somewhere is to stay there.
My sister had to remain home since she was sick.
Rest. To rest is to stop being active while the body gets back its strength.
I rested on the couch after work.
Separate. If two things are separate, they are not together.
New York and Los Angeles are in two separate parts of America.
Site. A site is a place.
We found the perfect site for our picnic.
Tail. A tail is a part of an animal's body, sticking out from its rear or back.
Our dog wags its tail when it's happy.
Trouble. Trouble is a problem or a difficulty.
I have trouble working with my boss.
The first peacock. Argos lived in ancient Greece. He was a husband and a proud father. He worked hard and did well at his job. But one thing about him wasn't normal. He was born with 100 eyes. Having many eyes was usually a benefit to him. He had a chance to see many things. Also, since he had so many eyes, he was very good at guarding things. While sleeping, he only rested a few eyes at a time. The others stayed awake. He worked for Hera, a great goddess. His primary function was to guard a special cow. The cow was very important to Hera. It was her favorite pet. The most essential part of his job was to keep the cow alone. It had to be kept separate from all the other cows and far away from people. This was an easy job for Argos. The cow just ate grass all day. But the god Zeus wanted the cow. He wanted to take it away from Hera. He had a plan. He found a great music player. He asked the man to play a beautiful song for Argos. Zeus was certain Argos would go to sleep. The song had an immediate effect. Argos couldn't focus on his job. He fell asleep. Zeus saw this, and he took the cow. Hera was very angry with Argos. She turned him into a peacock. She put his many eyes on his tail. Argos was very sad. Zeus saw how much trouble he had caused Argos. He made another plan. He turned Argos into a group of stars. He wanted Argos to remain in the sky forever. Even today, Argos's image remains there, above the site where all his problems began. We can still see him in the night sky. Advantage. An advantage is something that helps you.
Being tall is an advantage to a basketball player.
Cause. To cause is to make something happen.
The cold weather caused her to get sick.
Choice. A choice is the act or possibility of picking something.
I had my choice of 5 doors to open.
Community. A community is a group of people who live together.
The kids from my community usually play together.
Dead. To be dead is to not be alive.
A dead person is usually buried in the ground.
Distance. The distance between two things is how far it is between them.
The distance between the Earth and the Moon is 384,400 kilometers.
Escape. To escape is to run away from something bad.
The butterfly could not escape from the cage.
Face. If you face a problem, you deal with it.
My sister and I have to find a better way to face our differences.
Follow. To follow means to go behind someone and go where they go.
The little boy followed his mother home.
Fright. Fright is the feeling of being scared.
She was filled with fright.
Ghost. A ghost is the spirit of a dead person.
Many people are afraid of ghosts.
Individual. An individual is one person.
Only one individual could win the bicycle race.
Pet. A pet is an animal that lives with people.
Out of all my pets, the dog is my favorite.
Reach. To reach means to arrive at a place.
I was happy to finally reach my destination.
Return. To return is to go back to a place.
I was happy to return home to my mom after school.
Survive. To survive is to stay alive.
My dog survived her fall into the water.
Upset. To be upset is to be unhappy about something.
She was upset because she broke her toy.
Voice. A voice is the sound a person makes when they talk or sing.
He used a microphone so everyone could hear his voice.
Weather. The weather is the condition of the air. Hot, rainy, windy, etc.
The weather can be sunny, rainy, or cold.
Wise. To be wise is to use experience and intelligence to make good choices.
Many people believe that owls are very wise animals.
The friendly ghost. A nice woman lived by a large river. She loved children. She wanted to help them in any way. She loved her community, and everyone in the community loved her. She lived a very long time and became very wise. When she died, she became a ghost. She was dead, but every night she returned to her community. She wanted to help children and not to cause them fright, but she had a scary voice. Children were afraid of her, but the ghost was a good one. She only scared them to help them. One night, some children and a dog were playing by the river. They were having fun with their pet, but they were far from home. Then the weather became bad. It rained and rained. The river was rising. It was very dark. The children knew they were lost. They needed to go north, but they didn't know which direction it was. When the moon came out, they saw a ghost by the river. The ghost said, "Go away!" The children felt great fright. They knew it was a ghost. Then the ghost moved closer. She yelled again, "Go away!" The children became very upset. Some of them began to cry. The children knew they had a choice. They could escape, or they could stay and face this scary individual in the dark. The children ran a long distance away. The ghost followed them all the way. Finally, the children reached home. The ghost was very happy. Soon the river rose higher and higher. It was very dangerous. The ghost had helped the children survive. She had saved them from the rising water. She also used her power to lead them home. Sometimes, meeting a ghost has advantages. A ghost can save your life. Aware. If you are aware of something, you know about it.
I was not aware of the ringing phone.
Badly. Badly means in a severe or harmful way.
He hurt his arm badly playing with friends.
Belong. If something belongs to you, you own it.
The blue suit belongs to Paul.
Continue. To continue something is to keep doing it.
She stood under her umbrella as the rain continued to fall.
Error. An error is something you do wrong.
I made an error on my report, so my boss was angry.
Experience. An experience is something you have seen or done.
Rock climbing was a fun experience.
Field. A field is a big area of land.
The field of flowers looks so pretty.
Hurt. To hurt is to do something that makes you feel pain.
She hurt her leg falling down the stairs.
Judgment. Judgment is the ability to form opinions or decisions.
It's good judgment to recycle your aluminum cans.
Likely. If something likely happens, it will probably happen.
I will likely stay at home and watch TV tonight.
Normal. If something is normal, it is not strange nor surprising to you.
It is normal for me to bathe every night.
Rare. If something is rare, you do not see it very often.
It is rare for him to miss his flight.
Relax. To relax is to rest.
The frog relaxed in the warm sun.
Request. To request something is to ask for it.
The little girl requested a special gift from Santa Claus.
Reside. To reside means to live somewhere permanently or for a long time.
My brother and his family reside in a lovely house on the beach.
Result. A result is something that happens because of something else.
As a result of all the rain, the man had to climb on the roof.
Roll. To roll is to move by turning over and over.
You must roll the ball into the pins when you bowl.
Since. Since is used to talk about a past event still happening now.
Since 1992, he has been driving that car.
Visible. If something is visible, it can be seen.
The moon and stars were visible in the night sky.
Wild. If something is wild, it is found in nature.
You should be careful around a fox because it is a wild animal. The Jackal and the Sun Child. A jackal is a wild dog with a big black back. It resides in the desert. But how did the jackal get his black back? This was how it happened. One day, the jackal saw a girl. She was sitting upon a rock. She was not a normal child. She was a rare and beautiful sun child. She was bright and warm like the sun. The child saw the jackal and smiled. She said, "Jackal, I have been relaxing on this rock for too long. I must get home soon. But I am slow and you are fast. You will likely get me home more quickly." Then she requested, "Will you carry me home? If you do, I'll give you a gift. This necklace belongs to me, but I will give it to you." The wild jackal agreed. So the sun child sat on the dog's back. They started to walk, but soon the jackal felt ill. The sun child was very hot on his back. The heat was hurting his back very badly. "I made a terrible error in judgment," he thought. He shouldn't have agreed to carry her, so he asked her to get off. But she did not. The jackal's back continued to get hotter and harder. He had to get away from the sun child, so he made a plan. First, he ran as fast as he could. He hoped the sun child would fall off, but she did not. So when the sun child was looking at the sky, not aware of the jackal's next plan, he jumped into a field of flowers. As a result, the child rolled off his back. The jackal ran away. But the sun child left a mark on the jackal's back, a visible black mark. Ever since his experience with the sun child, the jackal has had a black back.
Against. To be against something is to be touching it or opposed to it.
They both leaned against the wall.
Beach. The beach is a sandy or rocky place by the ocean.
The little girl built a sandcastle on the beach.
Damage. To damage something is to break it.
The car was damaged in the accident.
Discover. To discover something is to find it for the first time.
I discovered some new information in this book.
Emotion. An emotion is how you feel.
Anger is a common emotion that we all feel.
Fix. To fix something is to make it work.
My dad has many tools to help him fix broken things.
Frank. If you are frank, you are being very honest.
The teacher had a frank discussion with her students.
Identify. To identify something is to be able to name it.
I used the file to identify his name.
Island. An island is land in the middle of water.
Japan is a group of islands.
Ocean. The ocean is all of the salt water that surrounds land.
The ocean can make powerful waves.
Perhaps. Perhaps is used when you say that something could happen.
Perhaps I will eat an apple for lunch.
Pleasant. If something is pleasant, you enjoy it.
The character had a pleasant look on its face.
Prevent. To prevent something is to stop it from happening.
The handcuffs prevented me from moving my hands.
Rock. A rock is a hard thing in the dirt.
I stacked rocks on top of one another.
Save. To save something is to keep it from being hurt.
I want to help save the world.
Step. To step is to walk.
Be careful where you step.
Still. Still is used when you say that a situation keeps going on.
They are still waiting in line to get tickets.
Taste. A taste is the flavor something makes in your mouth.
The taste of the fruit was sweet.
Throw. To throw something is to use your hand to make it go through the air.
The pitcher can throw the baseball very fast.
Wave. A wave is a line of water that moves higher than the rest of the water.
The water was filled with large blue waves. The starfish. Last summer, I took a trip to an island. I had a lot of fun. I sat and watched the waves and listened to the ocean. I learned to identify birds. I discovered pretty things and enjoyed the taste of new foods. It was a very nice time. One evening, I took a pleasant walk by the ocean. When the waves came in, many starfish fell on the beach. Some starfish went back into the water, and they were safe. But other starfish were still on the sand. They would die if they did not get into the water. There were many starfish on the beach that night. It made me sad, but I knew I could not fix the problem. I stepped very carefully, so I did not damage them. Then I saw a little girl. She was also sad about the starfish. She wanted to prevent all of them from dying. She asked me if I could perhaps help her. To be frank, I don't think we can do anything, I said. The little girl started to cry. She sat back against a rock and thought for a while. Finally, the emotion was gone. She stopped crying and stood up. Then she picked up a starfish and threw it into the water. "What are you doing?" I asked her. But she did not answer me. She just threw as many starfish as she could. "You cannot save all of them," I said. She stopped to look at me. "No, I cannot save them all," she replied. Then she picked up a very big starfish and said, "But I can save this one." And then she smiled and threw the starfish as far as she could into the ocean.